What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about this costume system and how it's a big old mess, and what I think that Netmarble is intending to do with this, why it's become a problem for players, especially for free to play. And also we're going to talk about some compromises I think we could see from the developers, if hopefully we could see from the developers, about how to make this system a little bit more accessible for your free to play, for your players who aren't going to be wailing out. Because as it stands right now, if you're free to play, your costume system you're screwed on the costumes. It's going to take you a very long time to get anything up to 5 or 6 stars, and the login bonus of one 6-star or one 5-star costume every month is about most of your costume allowance you get per month. So it's a big problem for free to play, and we're going to talk about all that today. So in order to upgrade a costume from 1 star to the next, you need that costume, plus you need another 5-star or 5 costumes at that same star. Not too bad for 1 and 2 star. 3 star, I guess, get a little iffy, and then 4 and 5, it's really difficult. So if I want, and basically it increases by a factor of 6 every time I want to upgrade the stars on a costume, meaning that in order to get a 6-star costume, I need about 7,000 to 8,000 1-star costumes to get a 6-star costume, which is absolutely absurd. That's very, very difficult because your daily allowance of 1-star costumes is about 10 to 15 a day. So it's not exactly very easy for you to get those. That's the big problem with free to play, because they're not going to be wailing out on the costume packs. They're not going to be buying up all these different bundles and everything. Like, for me personally, I think one of the best deals in this game is the one that gives you the 3-star ones every single day. I've got to find it here, but basically it is, this Omega Future membership. It gives you 150 free crystals a day and an Omega supply box, so you can have a 3 to 5-star costume, Omega card, or core. I think this is one of the best deals in the game. It gives you the total amount in free crystals and then some, and then these Omega core, or these Omega boxes as well. Just the other day, I pulled a 5-star costume from this. Saved me a ton of farming time from this. So I think this is one of the better deals in the game, but it's $26. Most of your free-to-play is not going to buy that. So it's one of those things where if you're free-to-play, you can't get access to that. You may go for the Alpha Future membership one, but that gives you 1 to 3-star costume. Very rare you get 3-star costumes from that. So free-to-play just don't have any reliable ways of upgrading their costumes. They have to grind it out very long. This is a big problem, and it's also compounded by the fact that crafting regional sets in this game are an absolute pain. So originally it cost 3 sin cores to craft a regional piece, plus 30 of that regional material. Like, I'm working on Sakaar costumes for Star-Lord because it buffs the flame skill class for him. I need 5 sin particles to do 1 single craft. I've got 2 that are going right now. They'll be done here in another 6 minutes. Maybe we'll open it up here on the stream. But the craft rate for costume regional pieces in this are incredibly low. Usually you're going 100 plus crafts before you see a regional piece. I had some weird luck where I opened 2 up in a group of 10, and then I went another 200 before that where I saw no regional pieces. So it's one of those things where it's very unreliable in getting these regional pieces, and because they're the end-all costume set, there's no other way to get them. You can either get them here, or you can buy out, or you can whale out on the costume bundles, but the drop rate in there is so low for those. Like, if you go here and look at the draw rates on this, let's say you pull a 3-star, it's a 0.03% chance to drop a regional piece. And that's if it's the regional piece you need. Like, you can get dupes. I want to go for Sakaar. I have a 0.03% chance of getting the Sakaar Blaster, which is the final piece I need to finish off this set. So the costume sets are not a reliable way of getting your regional pieces either. The drop rate's just so low. They do give you those Omega points, which we think may be used to guarantee buy regional pieces. We don't really know, but as a whole right now, crafting regional pieces is terrible. Enhancing costumes is way too expensive, especially for free to play. But I think I know why they're going for it, and this is not a defense of Netmarble at all. I'm not defending their thoughts on this, but I have a feeling that these regional costumes are pretty much the end game costume sets. We're not going to be getting better sets out of them, and I have a couple things that lead me to believe this. So The first thing that I noticed is that if you go and look at your costumes, the best costume you can pull in the game is the Savage Shadowland one. But if you go and look at it, I'll pull up the stats here so you guys can see it. So your Savage Shadowland sets. Let's take a look at the helmet here. 4-star helmet, 420 attack, 12.1% bonus attack as well. If you go and look at, say, a Hydra Empire helmet, it's those exact same bonuses. The Savage Shadowland bonuses, the only thing's different is this is these 6-set bonus or the 4-set piece bonuses down here. Like for me, for Sakaar, I want the Flame Shot class skill level. I get that with Savage Shadowland as well. But for me, honestly, I like Sakaar better because I get crit rate in that 2-piece set instead of the supervillain damage. Like that means I can get a little bit more use out of this. So there's differences in the set bonuses for Savage Shadowland versus your other regional sets. If they really wanted to make this where power creep was coming in with Savage Shadowland, because there's big teases that we're getting the Shadowlands at some point in the game, they would make this set more powerful. They would increase these stats. They make these stats a whole lot better. I'd argue Sakaar is better for me versus Savage Shadowland. And this is why I think that they are not going to be making costume sets that are drastically better in the future. They're going to make all these different regional sets that have different bonuses on them. Like defense and supervillain damage, that's good for me for PvE, but if I want to get a little more flexibility, I'd go for Sakaar because I get attack and crit rate. That's better for me in PvP. That's going to be much better for me there. Supervillain damage does nothing for me in PvP. That's just for rate. So I truly believe that this is the reason why we aren't going to be getting power crept in regional sets. That's why I think that they want these regional sets to be the end game sets that we get for these characters. And that is why I think they have drastically cut down on the crafting rate. It's one of those things where like it's kind of ludicrous just how difficult it is to get them. And I think that's part of why they're doing it. But also the other thing that I've noticed is that if you compare them to your battle badges, the badges have ratings on them for bonuses, while your costumes have flat percentages. So if you look at your battle badges, like here on my Maestro badge, my cooldown decrease, HP, and ultimate skill gauge recovery, like the HP is a flat stat anyways. The cooldown decrease and ultimate skill gauge recovery are ratings, which means that they are going to be based or converted into percentages. But with your costumes, you get flat percentages. So what this means is in the future, if we get level cap increases, we get new sets, new expansions. Like when we get Shadowland, I have a feeling Shadowland's going to give us better battle badges, which means better stat ratings. But the costumes, because they are flat percentages, means that they will always give the same percentage. Even as we go up in level, the rule in MMOs is that as you increase in level, the ratings convert into smaller percentages. So if you have 100 rating at level 10 and you have 100 rating at level 20, 100 rating at level 20 gives you far less than what you get at level 10. That is the whole power of these battle badges. You don't get that with your costumes, and that is my second piece of evidence that I have for saying that these are going to be basically the end-all pieces that you're going to get, that you're not going to have to worry about more costumes coming in the future, which are statistically better. The only thing that I think they're going to be changing between these costume sets are going to be their tier bonuses. Now, I'm sure that, I mean, honestly, I think that this could be wishful thinking on my part, and I'm sure you guys will let me know down below. This could very easily just be greed on Netmarble's part as well, but just the way they're treating costume sets versus like your battle badges and other items, I think that just goes to show that they want your regional pieces to be very important, and they intend these to be the final grind for your costume. Like once you get a 6-star costume set, that's it. You're not going to have to worry about other costume sets in the future. Now, with all that being said, it still sucks how terrible the crafting system is. I mean, it's terrible. Here we go, another 2. Yeah, I mean, I'm about 100 crafts in. I still haven't seen another Sakaar piece. It's getting ridiculous. But hey, I finished off another collection. But here's one thing I think that could really make the crafting a whole lot better. Give us a pity system. If you don't know what a pity system is, Basically, if you go an X amount of time and you get no luck, you get no joy on crafting like a regional set piece, there's an automatic system that kicks in that gives you that piece. Meaning that, let's say 100 or 150 crafts in, you still haven't seen a regional piece, a switch flips, and the next piece that you craft is automatically guaranteed to be a regional piece. I think that would go a huge way, or a huge length, or a huge, what's the word I'm looking for? That would go a long way, basically, in allowing us to get at least a little more guaranteed crafting from this, because right now it's just not fun to go 200 crafts in and see no regional pieces and say, well, it's totally luck based with crafting right now, and that just on the whole doesn't feel fun. I mean, there's plenty of other things we could talk about as well with quality of life issues, like your specializations that fail for no reason at all. It's one of those things where crafting really could be compromised quite a bit. Like, there needs to be a compromise between us and the developers on this crafting. I get why they want to make it more difficult. They didn't want people mass crafting and getting regional sets in like the first couple of weeks, but also those are your Krakens who are just dropping mad money in the costume store and pulling most of their sets right there. That was a big reason, and I get why they nerfed the crafting, but for most players out there, that crafting now sucks, and it's not fun. So if Netmarble is watching this, you guys can forward to Netmarble. Hopefully they can get that feedback. That pity system would go a long way in helping players feel better about this crafting system, because right now it's just not rewarding. It's not fun. A lot of people are upset about it. I know a lot of people were pissed with this change, and we even had some people rage quit over the costume crafting system changes because the costume crafting system already was in a bad spot. It got even worse. A lot of people were unhappy. I can't blame them for leaving. But let me know down below what you guys think about this the costume crafting system. Do you guys agree or disagree with my theory about how these regional pieces are supposed to be like top tier and that they won't be pushed out later? Let me know what you guys think down below. But as always, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.